Hi, I'm David Ireland, the Wildlife Man. Welcome to another Wildlife Man podcast. Now this is episode number 18 and the story is about hand feeding a giant Moray eel. And I promise you it's an exciting story. Now today's story is sponsored by Kess Gallery. They have the most amazing aerial photography of the Sydney region. Now I was in the production of my Wildlife Man TV series for Discovery Channel and I wanted to showcase one of the strange apex predators, the giant Moray eel. Now over the last nearly 50 years I have done countless hours diving and filming marine life, but one of the most exotic and rarest marine creatures that I have ever seen is the giant leopard Moray eel. In fact, up to only a few years ago, I'd only ever seen 3 in my whole life. I wanted to showcase these amazing, strange apex predators in one of my films. So we did some research and we contacted dive companies in Fiji, the Solomon Islands, New Guinea and Australia, Indian Ocean, Pacific, whatever. And only one dive company came back to me and said that they had regular sightings of a giant leopard Moray eel. And that was in Christmas Island in the Indian Ocean. But it was risky because I have to fund the airfares, the film crew, the accommodation. It's so expensive to produce one of these Wildlife Man films for Discovery Channel. So off we went. We travelled from Sydney to Perth and then all the way out to Christmas Island. And I interviewed a lady that was regularly diving around those reefs. And she told me that sometimes they would see this huge giant leopard Moray eel. And it was living around the mooring blocks, these huge concrete mooring blocks that were in the harbour. And there were numerous blocks and they saw this eel sometimes move from one to the other. So we started exploring. And day after day, we swam from one block to the next on scuba. And eventually, we saw this amazing animal. Such a strange creature. So exotic, so alien. I mean, these giant Moray eels have 2 sets of jaws. How crazy is that? With needle-sharp teeth. One set of jaws is actually in the throat of the animal. And it has razor-sharp teeth that all face backwards. So when they grab their prey, that second set of jaws pushes forwards and it clamps onto their prey. And the animal has no chance of escape. These creatures are alien. They are so strange. And there it was. We could see the head of this animal under this mooring block, just watching us. You wouldn't dare put your hand in there and try and get a lobster because they are territorial. Normally, giant Moray eels are reasonably passive. They don't normally attack divers, but you don't put your hand in there to try and get a lobster and frighten the animal and then it would bite. And because of the power of such an amazing predator, they can be a very dangerous animal. So it's a good idea to give them some space, especially at night when they go hunting, because these are nocturnal hunters. Now I wanted to try and hand feed this eel. And the reason I wanted to do that was because to film this animal actually hunting and attacking a fish, we could spend night after night after night following if we could keep up with it. The chances of recording that were very minimal. So I wanted to actually hand feed it, but not just give it the fish. I wanted to hang on to the fish so it has to fight to get it. I wanted to showcase the power of these amazing animals and all the different techniques they use to manage to attack and tear pieces of flesh from their prey. So we took down a bag of trevally, tuna, kingfish. My cameramen were on each side, and I'm about 10 feet from the hole that was underneath this big mooring block. Now, moray eels have very small eyes. They don't have good eyesight. And that's a major concern, because if I'm holding the fish, it could easily make a mistake and grab my hand or my arm and cause horrendous damage. So that worried me. How the moray eels find their prey: they detect motion, vibration and movement, but predominantly through sense of smell. The other problem that concerned me was when that eel smelt the fish and blood, it's going to go into a frenzy. It's going to change its whole personality. And it's going to be far more dangerous and far more violent. So I'm there and I'm holding the fish and I'm trying to keep my heartbeat down and be calm. And out he comes. And he came at me quite quickly. I was surprised at the length of this thing. He's thicker than my arm. He is so powerful. Such a strange alien thing to hand feed. I knew we were in for some action, and hopefully to keep my hand and my fingers. When the eel attacked and it grabbed hold of the fish, it used different techniques to try and pull the fish away from me. It wants to just grab it and take it back to its lair, but I'm hanging on to it. So it violently jerked backwards, shaking its head from side to side. And then it did something amazing. It was a bit like a crocodile, doing the crocodile roll. In other words, it was spinning, but incredible speed. And as it's spinning, it's just tearing chunks of flesh from the fish, even tearing the fish in half. It showcased its ability to be one of the great apex predators in the ocean. It's a big concern for me, these animals, because they're rare. And it's strange that they're rare, because when they mate, they wrap their bodies around each other. The female releases literally thousands of eggs. The male fertilizes them, and they become part of the plankton community. Eventually, when they're developed enough, they return to the sea floor and slowly grow. But this species, the spotted leopard giant eel, the giant moray eel, is rare. And we've very, very seldom seen them. But they're so vulnerable. If they get a hook in their mouth and the professional fishermen pull them up on deck, they're not going to like them and they'll hack them up for sure. Even if they cut the line and the hook is embedded in the animal's gut, it'll die. So they're very vulnerable. And I want them protected. Sure, what we did was dangerous, incredibly dangerous, and I don't recommend anyone do it. But we did showcase the power of this strange alien apex predator. A wonderful, wonderful ocean animal. After weeks of searching, Linda, a local diver, hears of our quest and gives me the information we so desperately need. Have you ever seen an eel like that?
I've only ever seen one. There's one that actually lives just in Flying Fish Cove here.
Down here. Within the island's harbour is a mooring. A massive concrete block anchors it. Hiding under this concrete slab is a giant leopard eel. Gymnothorax fabigenus. This eel's jaws have incredible strength, but how he will react to handheld bait is totally unknown. This monster eel is far bolder than the other moray eels we have encountered. But like all species of moray, a single stainless steel hook can end the life of this rare animal. This huge eel is the most magnificent I have ever seen. His speed and swimming ability is amazing. His slippery skin has disruptive coloration. The leopard-like spots camouflage his outline. Power to weight ratio, he is arguably stronger than any marine animal. With each bite, he tears flesh away with powerful jerks, sometimes ripping the fish completely in half, other times pulling, twisting with incredible force and determination. Hand-feeding this creature is dangerous, but I know we are achieving film footage that will give us valuable insight into the feeding ability of this secretive, rare marine predator. Every week we will publish a new Wildlife Man podcast. So if you enjoy, please subscribe. Please share, like, and ring that notification button so you never miss a new story being published. And remember, all my films are available streaming on demand from Vimeo. So that's it from me till next week. I am your Wildlife Man.